Welcome to the Information Systems for Business podcast. I'm your host, Craig Van Slyke. The main purpose of the podcast is to augment the book Information Systems for Business: An Experiential Approach by Franz Belanger, Craig Van Slyke, and Rob Crossler. The book is published by Prospect Press. Before we get started, I want to give a few disclaimers. The podcast purposely omits many details in order to get to the high points of each chapter. So listening to the podcast is not a substitute for reading the book. Each episode contains my view of the most important points of each chapter. Your professor may have a different view. The podcast is solely my responsibility, so any errors are on me, not my co-authors, your professors, Prospect Press, or my employer. Enough of the disclaimers, let's get to the good stuff. In this episode, I cover the most important points from Chapter 11, Information-Based Business Processes. The focusing story discusses how a 100-year-old multinational Mexico-based cement company, Cemex, used information technology and systems to redesign some of its business processes to cut average delivery times from 3 hours to 20 minutes and decrease the number of delivery trucks they needed while also increasing customer satisfaction and increasing sales and cutting costs. Chapter 11 covers the important topic of business processes and how information systems and technology can help dramatically improve these processes. A business process is a series of steps or tasks a business uses to achieve a specific goal. You may not realize it, but you probably engage in multiple business processes each day. After introducing the concept of business processes and covering the focusing story, Chapter 11 gives a simplified example of a common business process and introduces the concept of sub-processes. Next, the chapter covers process modeling and briefly discusses tools for process modeling. This is followed by a discussion of how technology enables process improvement. The chapter closes with descriptions of 3 levels of change brought on by business process redesign. Here are the main points from Chapter 11. A process is a series of steps or tasks that are required to achieve a specific goal. All aspects of an organization use processes, and many processes involve multiple functional areas of a business. For example, a process to purchase materials might involve purchasing, receiving, and accounts payable, among other functions. A key aspect of business processes is the all-or-nothing concept. This means that a process either needs to be completed in full or not at all. There should be no partial processes. Imagine if you ordered something and the merchant carried out the part of the process that collected your payment, but not the part that shipped the product to you. You would probably be displeased, to say the least. Business processes can be decomposed into multiple tasks, which are themselves processes called sub-processes. This is similar to the concept of systems and subsystems discussed in Chapter 2. There are a lot of S's in this chapter. And then Chapter 2 covered Introduction to Information Systems. Process modeling involves mapping the steps that occur in processes and sub-processes. Each step in the process is modeled, as are all the decisions involved. There are many process modeling tools that can help with the modeling process. See Table 11.1 for some examples. Businesses have used processes since there have been businesses. Today, information technologies are widely used to improve the efficiency and effectiveness of business processes. If you're like most people, you use many technology-enabled business processes every day. Improving business processes can help organizations improve their operations. Initiatives to improve business processes are typically called business process reengineering, BPR, or business process improvement, BPI. They're often used kind of interchangeably, but technically BPR involves more extensive change than BPI. Typically, these initiatives have one or more of 4 goals: improving effectiveness, improving efficiency, increasing internal controls, or increasing compliance with regulatory or statutory obligations. We can categorize the impacts of process improvement into 4 categories. Automation improves efficiency typically by replacing human labor with technology. Informate, that's INFORMATE, uses technology to better inform people, which can improve how they carry out business processes and make decisions. Transformation involves fundamentally redefining business processes or how work is done. This is the most difficult level of change to implement. Well, that's it for Chapter 11. Some of the figures in the chapter are really quite useful in helping you better understand the text, so read the book. Okay, that's it for this episode. Remember that you still need to read the chapter since the book has much more detail. Have I mentioned that yet? Fortunately, we, the co-authors, worked really hard to keep the chapter short and to the point, so the reading shouldn't be too bad. Talk to you next time.